Alright everyone, we're here with another RTSL match. The RTSL League for 2021A is overseen by George, aka Fruit Strike, so I just want to give him a quick shout out and say thank you. We're playing a 60-minute clock, and we're the Soviets. Okay, I think we're going to... Okay. I think we're going to open 441. And we're going to plug in our hand. We got... have to worry about CIA when I get that trigger maybe before decall. Could also UN CIA. That might not be a bad idea. Okay, so decall, putting into Algeria, and then being able to access France, that doesn't really work. We could headline Nasser, but I think the plan is going to be headline socialist governments, then coup. Let's see about this. Or we could try to hold socialist governments. Alright, so the risky play here, we don't have a ton of ops, so I think I'm going to not headline socialist governments, not go for the coup in Italy. I think the play here is going to be Cambridge 5. Let's see what we get. Oh, and we get purged. Alright, so on top of... Okay, now we do... Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so we do get a point in Asia. Where do we want to spend it? That's the question. Alright. Well, I think... if we put it in India, and then if we coup with, say, Arab-Israeli war, we do a coup on Iran, we can try to drop DEFCON. I imagine they'll probably just drop Asia for nothing. The alternative is we put our point in, say, Thailand, and then we place, like, this. Now our opponent could play into Pakistan, in which case we'd have to take Thailand, and then it becomes this big race to see who could get to India first. Or we're holding the China card. I think that's a race we're willing to take. Alright, so let's go there. I'm expecting to see an AR1 coup in Thailand. But knowing that we don't have to worry about the Middle East or Europe this round is helpful. Of course, being under purge is not, so we're essentially almost like playing Vietnam revolts without Vietnam revolts. We don't get the Southeast Asia ops bonus. Okay, so he coups with NORAD. Alright, and now we're going to coup back with the China card. And we get a big coup. We could coup again. Okay, so Olympics goes for influence. This is where being under purge is really going to hurt. It's looking like our opponent's probably going to be able to race us. We'll be able to grab most of Southeast Asia, but I think I like this play. The alternative is we play into South Korea, but that's even harder. Well, actually, that might not be the worst play. We'll place into South Korea. Let's see what happens. Okay, Warsaw Pact. Now that probably means our opponent is holding the war.
And that there are no international problems which men of goodwill cannot solve or adjust.
Okay, I think the play next is we're going to give up on Asia, essentially. We're going to coup here in, oh, what the heck, we'll go with Iran. That doesn't work, but if our opponent now drops Asia, we can play decall and get access to France and beat the race to Africa. So that's, I think, going to be the play. Okay, so I think that's going to be where we go next. We also could play Nasser. As a matter of fact, I think that's going to be what we do. We're going to play Nasser. And then maybe look to play CIA, since we have no... Okay, D-Star gets back to the deck. Okay, so I feel like we should get rid of CIA. Our opponent will know we've got decall. He could actually play into both Angola and Zaire, which would be bad, but DEFCON suicide is worse. So, there we go. I think we'll use the point to grab Syria, and then maybe race into Libya, trying to grab Mideast domination. And so that purge hurt. We lost 3 ops. Okay, interesting. So we're going to play like that. So on one hand, the Cambridge 5 play, we could have, instead of taking that big China card coup on Thailand, we could have used the China card to spread, taking the 2 battlegrounds in Pakistan and India, but then we would have been vulnerable to an Asian coup. And so I feel okay about this setup, even though the scoreboard isn't going to be very good. We got D-Style back into the deck. We could see that on turn 3. We have decall in hand to spread into Africa. Southeast Asia is going to be pretty profitable. And if we're lucky enough, we might even be able to draw IP War. I don't think that's been played. Okay, so Fidel comes out, and luckily we got CIA out of the deck before Fidel. That's helpful. Okay, so we got defectors. Okay. Wish we had that Korean War card a little earlier. We had both wars. All right. So we know there's a good chance he's holding Marshall Plan, and if he decides to headline it, then he gets to score Europe for domination. I think that's pretty likely, but if he plays Marshall Plan, we're not going to be able to really threaten Europe, although, 1, 2, 3, 4, he's got 4 countries, we could have 4. So, but we're not going to give up the early coup, and we have to worry about the Middle East as well. I think we play Europe here. If he headlines Marshall Plan, he gets it. He does not. That's lucky. Okay. Well, that's fortunate. Okay, so now we take coup. I think we're going to coup here with ComCon, coup here on Iran. Okay, so getting that is useful for a lot of reasons. It puts us on Mideast domination. It makes it much easier for us to grab Pakistan with IP war. In fact, I think that's going to be our next play. Although I really do want to play Decall. I think that Decall might still be our next play to grab Angola before you can get there. I'm still going to try to hold UN intervention. We haven't seen any of the US 4-op cards, US, Japan, NATO, or Marshall Plan. So I think it might be Decall. If we put a point here in Algeria, that will prompt him to put some ops into France. So maybe we can play Decall and then play IP War. We also want to play Korean War. I think we're going to look to event almost all of these cards. All right, so there's one of his cards. All right, so he does actually... All right, so he's looking to... All right, so I think we're going to go like this. We don't get Angola, but Zaire gives us a coup target. And I think we're going to put the last point... We don't want to go Burma. I think we'll go like that. Another point to Southeast Asia. No, actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, why not force him to put a point into Angola if he wants to keep it and give us access to South Africa. So I think that's the play. Just 4 points, all in 4 African battlegrounds. That also gets Decall back in the deck, which is useful. I'm expecting him to play into Saudi Arabia if he has the ops. But now that he's got to worry about Angola and France, maybe he won't. See. It'd be nice, we haven't played to space yet, so it'd be nice to space, duck, and cover. It'd be nice to hold on to defectors. Although we have to decide really between holding defectors and holding UN intervention. Okay, so there's US-Japan. He has tons of ops this round. Alright, yep, starting to play towards Saudi Arabia, so that signals to us that he's got Mideast scoring. We will... What will we do? I do want to event IP War, but I'd also like to event Korean War. Okay, so maybe what we do here is... we firm up the Middle East. So now we've got 3 battlegrounds. And what to do with the last point? Do we play here so he can't break us? I think breaking a non-battleground. If he wants to spend the points to do that, we might as well just let him. Maybe what we do is we make it harder for him to take Saudi Arabia. So we're not going to get off to space, although we could space defectors, but I think we'll probably need the ops. Okay, so now we have a 50-50 on Pakistan. Nope, we don't get there. But again, that card will be coming back, so maybe we'll draw it again. It's no threat to us right now, but it is a threat to him. Maybe we'll roll better for our Korean War. Let's see. It's looking like Angola is going to be a good coup target. Okay, we get EU out of the deck. Alright. A little bit of spreading into Asia. That adjacency is going to hurt. Come on, better roll. No, another failed war. Well, we had two 50-50s and we didn't make either one. And that may be the story of Asia. Okay, he plays Formosa. And I am going to space defectors. When we needed to roll low, we rolled high, and vice versa. Expecting to see the Middle East here. Oh, our opponent gives us back the China card. Aha. Okay. Alright, so we get back the China card. We get the Middle East, Indie Reds, nuclear test ban, captured Nazi scientist. We get decal back, which is nice. Discards. Alright, we get back defectors, so we have a defector-free coup. Big games, decal, destall. Alright, so we have several options. Since we know our opponent can't really influence the Mideast, and since we're holding defectors, we can go ahead and headline Mideast scoring. Gives us back an action round. Alright, so he plays containment. He's going to have Boku ops. So, what to do? Do we... If we give up, if we even things up in... Alright, so one thing we could do is hang, since we're holding decal, we could... that does not get us where we need to be. And that doesn't either. Yikes. What if we went... That doesn't do it either. So it doesn't look like there's a set of combinations that allows us to... Oh, that'll do it. So if our opponent takes the coup, although he has so many ops, that's really just playing right into his hand. We know he's got Marshall Plan, Suez, de Gaulle, Vietnam. We know he's got 5 cards, none of which are scoring cards. So we're just going to proceed as if our opponent doesn't have the coup, and we're going to take a coup on, let's go with, oh goodness, we do want to space independent reds. Alright, so a coup on Angola. There we go, not a very good coup, but it gives us mill-ops. And let's see what our opponent does. We know 5 out of their 7 cards. Our next play is going to be CNS. Oh, and then what we can do is we can clear out Romania with D-Stall, which would mean that independent reds is a free play. So I think that's going to be the play. All right, so the fact that they're taking a while tells me that they're, oh goodness, that's another card that they have. All right. Okay, so we'll play CNS, get some points. We'll probably look to space defectors. We'll play D-Stall to clear out Romania and take South America. We'll play D-Call, which we're fortunate to draw a second time. We'll play that into, maybe we should play that next. Shore up Zaire, take Indonesia. I think that's going to be the play. Yeah, so if our opponent doesn't, since they have so many ops, so many ops, we're going to, we need to overprotect Zaire, and that should be priority number one. As a matter of fact, that would have been probably more important than playing to space. Because right now our opponent has enough ops to event and repair Suez. And the same thing with de Gaulle. De Gaulle isn't really lost ops for them, so they may not be playing to space. Probably could have seen that one coming. Although there is one card that they have that we don't know. We know they have Marshall Plan, Truman, Suez, de Gaulle, and Vietnam Revolts. Don't know what their other card is. Right, so the next play is going to be D-Call into Zaire. All right. NORAD is their other card. Okay, so now all of their cards are accounted for. Right. All right, so we're going to play D-Call. One here, one here. Maybe, let's see, where else do we want to go? I think, let's move here, and, well, let's do it actually like, all right, we got 1, 2, 3, and let's go here. We could theoretically, all right, one more time here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can theoretically race them in the Philippines. If we were willing to spend all 4 of these points, we'd get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 if they filled up Taiwan. So it's going to be interesting. Okay, I'm okay with that. All right, so we clear out Romania. Now we're playing in these 2 spots. But our opponent did fill out Mexico. Maybe we played D-Style around too late because We don't have great options. I think just playing like that we can play independent reds now. We also know they're holding Truman, so if he was to event Truman, I really wouldn't get anything out of it. I do want to take a second space shot with defectors, but right now we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points, and we'll have more than 5. We might overprotect for Voice of America. But, let's see. The unscored regions, Asia looks bad. Europe looks bad. Central America is pretty much a wash. South America is going to be good. So we've got 2 bad regions. Africa and Central America are going to be kind of a knife fight, and South America is looking pretty good. We could use Nuclear Test Ban to flip Angola, but we know his 4 remaining cards. It's Vietnam Revolt, de Gaulle, Suez, and Truman. He has so many ops, our opponent, that he may be tempted to do realigns in South America, which he does. Let's see how this goes. Alright. Well, that was good. It gives us more ops if we want to use them. Let's see. I don't really think it makes a lot of sense, though. I think the next play is going to be Space Defectors. Okay, here comes de Gaulle. A little bit of overprotection, that's fine. Alright, we get our next space shot. Save a victory point. I think with our last point, we're going to overprotect Venezuela and fill up Chile. Alright, he plays Truman. Okay. Oh, that's my bad. I miscounted. I thought we had one more action round. I guess not. Alright. So, let's see here. We know Defectors is out of the deck. We're not going to have a lot of ops to deal with, but I think the play is still going to be to purge. Yep. Get Ask Not. John Paul. Cuban Missile Crisis. Arab-Israeli War. What we could have done in that situation is played Cuban Missile Crisis, which would have let us repair Venezuela. Oh my goodness. And our opponent's ABM goes off before our red scare purge, so he's going to have the use of all 4 of those ops.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing
Just filling it up with ops.
safely to the earth.
Okay, so our opponent's probably figuring we have to use a gigantic card. So how are we going to play this out here? DEFCON's still pretty high. What we could do is coup with independent reds. I think this is going to be the play. We're going to coup with independent reds. Coup Angola. Alright, we get it. Get that out of our hand. Oh my goodness. ABM and VOA. Not a good start to the war. Yikes. This is going to be tough. Good news is DEFCON's still at... DEFCON is still at 3, so we could go for a coup. How likely is that coup to work? Got basically a 1 in 50-50. I'm okay with that. Let's do it. Alright. We get him out, but not enough. We were 1 point short. It preserves our African battlegrounds, though, and so I think we spread into Africa. And cover, duck and cover. So we need 2 points. I think the way to get those is go here, even this up, and maybe... Actually, 1 would be fine. Hate giving him Sadat, but it has to be done. And then we can take 2 of these one-step African countries. Even if he coups us out, we still score Africa for domination. I think that's going to be the play. You get rid of Sadat. Probably going to give him Ask Not on AR7. Okay, Camp David. Nice that he can event that under Purge. So that's a pretty good combo. It actually flips the Middle East back to domination for him. So now we're going to place this here, here and here, I think. No, actually, I think we're going to go... If we do this, it guarantees us domination, even if he coups. I think that's the play. We could spend more ops, say, and fill up South Africa, but we'd have to use the China card to do it. I think this is the play. We can space twice. We can space both John Paul and Bear Trap. Use Ask Not AR7, keep the China card. That's going to be the play. The thing about giving him Ask Not, now that I think about it, is he might be holding Lone Gunman, although it's the first round of the early war. DEFCON was high in the early going, so I'm going to guess that if he had Lone Gunman, he had a chance to get rid of it and chose not to, so I'm guessing he probably doesn't. So this is probably the time. Okay, we get Shea. That lets us coup Colombia. And I think that's it. Okay, so we score Africa. And 2 space rolls. John Paul and Bear Trap. I think that's going to be the way to go. Yeah, so we don't have to use Ask Not. Once again, I was miscounting my action rounds. So the scoreboard looks good, but we still haven't scored. Alright, here's Lone Gunman, speaking of that. Now I feel even better about if we did have to give him Ask Not, but we don't. We're to space John Paul, and that doesn't go. He goes with socialist governments. Okay, so we know he's holding Suez. I don't feel bad about letting him drop Suez, so I think actually I'm going to place influence. We're going to break him in Venezuela, and maybe, just maybe, he'll discard Suez and draw South America. That would be good. Let's see where that takes place. It also gets Ask Not out of his hand. Out of our hand, rather, out of the game, so that he can't redraw it. Alright, he does get rid of Suez. And whatever card he drew is the one he's going to have to play. Which is U2, okay. So that's a point for us. But it lets him fix Venezuela. Okay. Alright, so we're up to 15. We're doing alright. But we still have to worry about Europe. Okay, so Kitchen Debates is active. We want to make sure we can get out of playing that. Latin American Death Squads we get. Cambridge 5. Brush War. Oh, that's interesting. Nixon. We Will Bury You. Alliance for Progress. And Europe. Okay, so We Will Bury You puts us to 18, and a successful brush war on, say, Panama, that gets us the game. So I think that's how we're going to try it. There's probably a bunch more fancy things we could do, but this, I think, is going to be the play. Yep, let's do this. Alright, so we get our points. They can adjust DEFCON if they like. They're keeping it at 2. So, for all the marbles, let's play Brush War in Panama. Come on. No. Doesn't go. It doesn't go. So now we got to think of another way to get 2 points. Probably going to space is the play. Space Bear Trap, I guess. Yeah, we had a 2 in 3 chance to win it right there, and no such luck. All right. Time for some coups. Well, let's think about this. Right now, that's 2 points for him. even if he doesn't coup us out. The bear trap, we have a chance, now a 50-50 chance, to win in space. Let's take it. Once again, we failed. Alright, so that's 2 chances we had to win the game outright. I'm expecting here a realign out of Cuba. Yep, there's Portuguese empires for the realign. Yep. Alright. Alright. Once more. There's the game. Well, we got pretty lucky. Well, thanks for watching. I think I'll be having another RTSL game up probably later this week, so look forward to that. I'm also going to be posting some games that we do as a group from the Pennsylvania Federation. That's my home state. So you can watch for those as well. It's 3 people putting their heads together to come up with the best set of moves. Alright, thanks for watching.